Everybody freak out. Full-on panic mode. The media has gone from 0 to 1,000,000 miles per hour on something called Omicron. They didn't know what this was. Nobody had heard about this or talked about it before Wednesday of this week. But now it's literally changing the world. And I'm going to show you some examples of this and tell you whether you should freak out or not. But to watch the media hyperventilate over these things is so fascinating to me. This is the real-time impact it's having. This is on a flight right here from South Africa, which is now, South Africa's gross. They got that Omicron thing that we just learned about. So we definitely don't want that, right? They tried to land in the Netherlands, and here's what happened.
That means for KLM, the Johannesburg flight and also our Cape Town flight cannot enter the Netherlands without any restrictions. So what that means, that is what they are finding out right now. And as soon as I have that information, of course I'll let you know. But that is at the moment the information I can give you.
They're stuck on the tarmac.
Several questions, as I have as well, but that is the situation we are facing.
Get comfortable, folks. Oh, I can see the Omicron from here.
As soon as I have it, I'll try to keep you informed as good as possible.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know what's going on because they trapped them on the tarmac. They're now from South Africa. Passengers from South Africa face wait COVID-19 testing in Amsterdam. Several hundred passengers arriving in Amsterdam on 2 flights from South Africa face hours of delays in testing because everybody's freaking out over this Omicron thing. Again, this went from 0 to 1,000 miles per hour, and nobody knows anything about this. We just know it's the cool new thing to be super scared about. Flight radar shows all of these flights trying to leave Africa and South Africa in particular, and then just turning right around and going back, as you can see on this live map. Now, this was first identified, just so you know, I wasn't kidding you, it was first identified on November 23rd. The samples were from the 14th and 16th of November. So those earliest cases were just a couple of weeks old. The first detection was the 23rd of November. And here we are in full-on panic mode. This is insane. This was one of the first stories about this new variant, and it didn't have a name. Then they called it B.1.1.529. They talk about how it was spotted in Botswana and South Africa. It went from that to, hey, let's see what else is happening with this. The National Institute for Communicable Diseases said on Thursday they had confirmed 22 positive cases. As of Thursday, they found it in Botswana and Hong Kong. Some travelers from Africa. On Friday, oh my God, Europe found their first case in Belgium, and they found it in a traveler returning from Egypt. It looks like it's everywhere, and it's from Africa. And what is happening with the United States and travel?
The Biden administration will restrict travel from South Africa and 7 other African nations starting on Monday. The White House said this is being done out of an abundance of caution in light of the new COVID variant and on the advice of the CDC.
Oh, I don't know. This new Africa travel ban sounds real xenophobic and racist. I don't know about this. Breaking, the United States will restrict travel to South Africa and 7 other African nations due to the emergence of this new COVID variant. We only heard about this on Wednesday, like the scientific community. Thursday is Thanksgiving. And then by Friday, international travel and the economy are in an absolute free fall. We look at the markets here.
Cryptocurrency's plunging right now. Kate Rooney joins us with more on this move lower, what is driving it, and how it relates.
The market tumbling. You got Bitcoin tumbling. You've got all the different cryptocurrencies tumbling.
It's really a macro-driven sell-off for Bitcoin this morning. The cryptocurrency dropping near $53,000. That's the lowest level we've seen since October.
Great, good. If crypto can't hold through this variant, what else will? And then on all the morning shows, of course, they just got their notes from whoever's in charge, and they said, look, we got a new dangerous strain. Go freak people out.
A dangerous new strain of the coronavirus is alarming scientists around the world. The strain was first found in South Africa, and that is where Deborah Pata is in the city of Johannesburg.
No, don't let her come back. She's staying there now.
Good morning. The variant was detected in the last few days because of a jump in new cases near Johannesburg. While numbers are still low, just over 2,400, they doubled overnight.
Oh, they doubled overnight. I want to remind you of something for a moment here. We have no idea if this variant can evade vaccines. We have no idea if it's more powerful or more deadly. There's no idea. But it's a shiny new thing to be scared of. So run away with it they will. Today's show.
This morning, another worrying new COVID variant surging abroad. Scientists in South Africa identified the strain, which has also been found in other southern African countries and has spread to Israel and Hong Kong.
Oh, no.
Experts warning that this contagious variant may be more resistant to vaccines as it has a high number of mutations.
This variant has the two characteristics we've been most concerned about, which is high transmissibility and some level of immunity.
Oh, this seems bad, folks. This seems real bad. Everybody is on alert.
Scientists in South Africa are warning against a new coronavirus variant of extreme concern. They fear it could be more infectious than Delta and more resistant to vaccines. The new variant has already surfaced in neighbouring Botswana, Hong Kong and Israel.
Oof.
Several governments, including Germany's, are banning travel from South Africa and other southern African states. The World Health Organization has called a meeting of experts in Geneva to assess the threat.
And in that meeting, they decided we're calling it Omicron, which sounds like some sort of transformer bad guy. I mean, it is a very, very fast-moving situation that we're facing here. Let's see what else is going on out there.
The UK on Thursday banned flights from 6 southern African countries due to a new coronavirus variant spreading there. The new variant, called B11529, has alarmed global health
it's
officials
Omicron now,
as it appears to be more transmissible and may evade vaccines.
This poor guy. He'd rather have Omicron than deal with this.
It's because it's...
Look at that. I just see that, man. Be a little more gentle with the test.
Evade vaccines.
Ah!
That's because its spike protein is...
Yeah, what a great way to show people that they should go get tested by showing B-roll footage like this. Hey, line up, go get yours. And so the travel bans have arrived. It sounds pretty bad, though, folks, the African travel ban. Politically, the optics seem real bad, but in the EU, you have European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, who sounds like she's straight out of a vampire movie, and she's got the hair for it, too. She says, we're going to, with an abundance of caution, start banning some of that sweet, sweet African travel.
We do know that mutations could lead to the emergence and spread of even more concerning variants of the virus that could spread worldwide within a few months. It is now important that all of us in Europe act very swiftly, decisively and united. The European Commission has today proposed to Member States to activate the emergency brake on travel from countries in southern Africa and other countries affected to limit the spread of the new variant. All air travel to these countries should be suspended.
Oh boy, chaos is unfolding here. This guy must know what he's talking about, right? I mean, he looks serious. He's talking in front of a United Nations banner, and he's talking about this brand new variant that has the media on red alert right now, Omicron. Let's see what he knows.
Analysis show that this variant has a large number of mutations that require and will undergo further study.
All right.
It will take a few weeks for us to understand what impact this variant has.
Variant?
Researchers are working to understand more about the mutations and what they potentially mean for how transmissible or virulent this variant is.
Variant.
And how they may impact our diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines. This variant, the B11529, was reported at a remarkable speed. WHO recommends that countries continue to apply a risk-based and a scientific approach when implementing travel measures.
Oh, I guess they're doing that now. Here is the health experts in South Africa actually explaining what really happened with this variant. Let's see what they said.
So just the summary is that we have detected a new variant. Yeah, and this variant at the moment got a number or lineage number that's called the B.1.1529.
Not anymore.
Tomorrow we are
Omicron.
sitting with the World Health Organization Technical Working Group, and we do expect to get a Greek name for this variant as the other ones. Because
Omicron.
very important to understand that even that we detected here and very quick doesn't mean that this variant is from South Africa. Yeah, was just detected in South Africa, and we shouldn't use any country name for discrimination, but also to avoid other countries to come public that. This lineage, which is...
That's what a South African would say. Like, hey, everybody seems to be freaking out about this whole Omicron thing. Let's make sure they don't call it the South African variant. Wasn't there another country that didn't want the virus named after them? It's escaping me, I think. China?
It will become a variant with a Greek name, probably tomorrow, has very high number of mutations with a concern for predicted immune evasion and transmissibility. Yeah. So the B.1.1529, the current name, was produced in samples collected very recently from 12 to 20 of November from Gauteng in South Africa. We just completed close to 100 genomes, and by tomorrow it's going to be many more.
So they found it in South Africa, Botswana, Hong Kong. It was a traveler from South Africa. The good news is that they can detect this Omicron with a particular PCR assay, or well, there's a part of it that they can detect in PCR tests. So it's easy to follow this as it spreads around, and spread around it will, according to some of these experts, and they seem to be worried.
The critical thing to realize about this is that there's still quite a lot of work to be done to really understand what these mutations that it has mean. But it is the most mutated virus that's actually started spreading properly. That scientists have come across 32 mutations in the spike protein. As an example, the Delta variant has 10.
Oh, 3 times worse. That's going to be in the headlines tomorrow. Mark my words, because there's more mutations. You're going to see some media outlets go, it's 3 times worse. Mark it in the comments when they do this. They're going to say 3 times worse than the Delta variant. I almost guarantee it. The U.S., so for our part, this is the former White House health policy director, and her name is Dr. Patel, and she seemed fairly unfazed compared to everybody else.
But all in all, I'm going to remain to reserve caution, reserve concern, and be cautious until we hear about whether
she's going to reserve concern
with an immune escape phenomenon. Does our current vaccine regimen protect us against this new strain? Right. And I'm hopeful it will.
Well, Doctor, the news that we heard this morning was that the one confirmed case in Israel and the 2 suspected cases in Israel included people who were fully vaccinated, and not by the definition of the United States, but by the definition of Israel, which is boosted.
Oh, no!
Right. Yeah, and we know that they use mRNA vaccines. So obviously that's concerning, but it is one case. I'm not trying to diminish it, but I do think that until we see, we've had that case, we've had several cases in South Africa that are quite concerning of vaccinated individuals. And we're watching because that the UK has their kind of heightened awareness because of their own patterns of migration.
Oh, man, look at all the stocks in the red. Everybody's freaking out over this. Here's William Schaffner from the Vanderbilt University School of Medicine. Let's see if he's worried.
Because apparently the early data would suggest that it touches 2 out of the 3 things that concern us. 1, could it really be more transmissible, more contagious than Delta? Boy, that's hard to imagine. Number 2, could it evade the protection of our current vaccines? That's a potential bother. The third one seems not to be the case, at least so far. Could it make more severe disease? But those first 2 things, contagiousness and evasion of protection, we need to get more laboratory work on this and more epidemiological work on the ground.
So here's the real nitty-gritty on this Omicron, folks. While the media freaks out and trot out any expert that they can that will do their best, many of them just to scare everybody, and the doomers are going to doom, And the folks who are in that doomer category, meaning somebody that no matter what is going to find the worst possible view of this, the worst possible prediction is the one that they push on the American public. Omicron is going to be a journey through that same exact filter with almost everybody who's been talking about this stuff. You just stopped getting scared of X and Y, so it's time to hit you right in the face with a big, fat, hard Z. And that's what Omicron is all about. They only discovered this on the 24th of November. As I record this, it is, let's see here, the 26th of November. 2 days have gone by since they discovered this, and they've already given it a name, Omicron, and the press is already starting to melt down. International travel and financial markets are also starting to melt down. What do you think? Do you think that this is going to be overhyped? Do you think it's already being overhyped? Are you, like so many other people, done with this? You're done. You don't want to hear about every new little twist and turn on this. Are you worried about it? Give me your thoughts, whatever they are, in the comments below. Appreciate you watching as always. If you're on Facebook.com/thenewsjunkie, hit that follow button to get videos just like this every single day. Over on YouTube.com/thenewsjunkie, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again real soon.